Hi guys, Britain Oz here. Thanks very much for joining me again. I hope you're all doing well. So this evening we're going to discuss week 3 of the Autumn Internationals. We're going to see what sort of teams might line up as well as prediction on the results. Last week had a pretty good week. I'm not counting the Wales game because I was sat on the fence for it, even though it was quite a close game. So this week we've got Italy playing at home against South Africa. We've got England playing against Fiji. Wales are facing off against Japan. Scotland are playing Argentina. Ireland are playing New Zealand, and last but not least, France are playing against Australia. Okay, let's start off with the Italy-South Africa game. Now, obviously, both these teams are coming off the back of losses. Italy got absolutely pounded against New Zealand, and South Africa got pretty comprehensively beaten by England. I think South Africa are going to have too much for Italy. They're going to bring a different type of challenge to Italy than New Zealand did. I think it's going to be another blowout. I think South Africa would have blown off a few cobwebs against England and will come out firing. So I think South Africa are going to win this by 30, 40 points, I believe. I don't think Italy have got enough in them to stop the roll when South Africa get onto it. So I think it might get a bit ugly. England, Fiji, moving on. They're playing at Twickenham. I believe this is Fiji's first proper international game in a while. They played the Barbarians last week in Ireland and they got thumped by 40 points, so that is not looking good for Fiji at all. They're playing against an England team that have won 10 on the bounce and are playing very, very well and are very confident. I don't think they're going to change their team from the one that beat South Africa last week. Tom Wood's been dropped. I'm not sure who's going to take his place. Maybe Nathan Hughes might get a start. I'm not sure. I'm quite surprised by that, but maybe they're using this game to test a few of the other slight combinations out that they might be thinking. But I don't think there'll be wholesale changes. This game against Fiji they haven't got enough in them. This is going to be a 50-pointer. I think it'll be fairly close the first 20, 30 minutes, and then England's quality will show through and they'll run away with it after that. Wales play Japan. This one, Japan have caused a few upsets in the past. They beat South Africa in the last World Cup and they've had some good results, and they've got players now playing in the Super Rugby comp. I think Wales will have too much for them. Wales will be a bit more buoyed after last week. They're beating Argentina. Even if it was only by 4 points, they still got the win, which was the most important thing. Argentina are a good team. Japan are going to bring maybe a bit more pace. They won't have anywhere near as much size as Argentina. They won't bring as much physicality. They'll play with just as much heart, but they won't bring the same sort of challenge. Wales by 20 points, I think. Again, I'm not sure what kind of team Wales have put out, whether or not they'll decide to make wholesale changes or not. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Scotland play Argentina. Scotland played well last week against Australia. They were very unfortunate to lose. It was the last couple of minutes in the game. So they will take a lot of confidence from that. They'll be very happy with their display. They'll be a bit annoyed that they didn't win it though. That really got away from them. Yeah, Argentina, as you already discussed, lost to Wales. Very, very close game again. Feel like they probably should have won it, but sometimes it doesn't work out for you. The packs will match up evenly. They both play with a lot of aggression at the breakdown. I think that maybe Argentina might have a bit too much quality out wide. In saying that, Scotland have played against Australia beautifully and actually played very well, and they got the ball out wide. So it may be interesting. I think this is going to be quite close, but I think Argentina might have just a bit too much for Scotland to handle again. Maybe. I'm not sure if Scotland might suffer a bit of a hangover effect from the game against Australia, so I'm predicting maybe a 5-10 point win to Argentina. But it could very well easily go the other way, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Scotland win this one. But they have to keep the intensity levels up that they showed last week if they're going to do it. Ireland, New Zealand, this is the game of the round. This is it. This is round 2, the showdown. Ireland caught New Zealand cold in Chicago 2 weeks ago and beat them well. Yeah, they beat them very, very well. New Zealand have then gone to Rome and, as we said before, pounded Italy. Didn't give them an inch. New Zealand will be ready for Ireland this time. They'll be ready. Ireland don't have the element of surprise. New Zealand are going to know what's coming at them and they're going to be ready for it, and the big guns are going to be on show. Beauden Barrett recently been declared the World Player of the Year. He's having a phenomenal year. He will lead from the front. Kieran Reid will be there. You know, the guy never has a bad game, it seems. Ireland, can they do it again? Can they beat New Zealand twice in a year? Ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it'll be close. I think because it's been in Dublin, the Irish supporters will make sure Ireland push right to the end. I think New Zealand this time will just have a bit too much. They're going to go to this game with a point to prove, even more so than their last game in Italy. They're going to want to come back and they're going to want to stamp their authority on this Ireland team. Saying that, I think it'll be fairly close. I think it'll be within a 10-point margin to New Zealand. So backing New Zealand to win this week. Last game of the round, got France against Australia. Ooh, in France, this is an interesting one. France beat Samoa well. Australia squeaked past Scotland. They're sort of high, then they're low. And I've read that they've flown out eight new players to join the squad this week. So they're obviously not settled, and the coaching staff are obviously not very happy with the players that they've got, unless they've suffered from injuries. I haven't really made that too clear. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to predict because Scotland got under Australia's skin and they made them work very, very hard. And then you compare that to when Australia played Wales and Australia just cruised. Wales have the fear of Southern Hemisphere teams that France don't have. France are not scared of playing these teams. They hold no fear against them. It's very hard to predict. I want to predict the France win. I think it'll be within 5, 6, 7 points. If the same France turn up this week that turned up last week, and the same Australia team show up, I think France will win it. It'll be close either way. So there we have it. So say South Africa to win, England to win, Wales to win, Argentina to win, New Zealand to win, France to win. Let's see if we can get it this week, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you soon.